What do you mean they only brought basic maintenance tools? First engineer Zixtel chittered in disbelief, their crystalline appendages clicking against the command console of a harvester-class vessel Eternal Dominion. These are primitive humans we're talking about. How basic could their tools possibly be? The security feed showed 3 human engineers being escorted through the ship's corridors by a contingent of Vraxian guards. The humans carried what appeared to be simple cloth bags slung over their shoulders, walking with that peculiar bipedal gait that still unnerved most species in the Galactic Alliance. According to their credentials, Second Engineer Krith responded, consulting their neural interface. They're certified Class 3 maintenance technicians from the Sol System Engineering Corps. The Council insisted we accept their help after our primary drive core started showing signs of quantum destabilization. Zixtel's crystalline form flickered with irritation. The Eternal Dominion was one of the most advanced ships in the Vraxian fleet. The idea that they needed help from a species that had achieved FTL travel barely 2 centuries ago was embarrassing enough. But to send technicians with only basic tools? It was almost insulting. Fine, Zixtel conceded. Let them try. When they fail, we can finally request proper assistance from the Mechanoid Collective. Nyx Archer adjusted the weight of her tool bag as she studied the massive quantum drive core towering before her. The Vraxian engineer beside her was explaining the problem in their typical condescending manner, but she was more interested in the familiar harmonic oscillation she could hear, a sound no Vraxian could detect in their audible range. Problems in the temporal alignment matrix, she interrupted, causing the Vraxian's crystals to flicker in surprise. The quantum field is out of phase with your containment systems. Simple fix, really. Her fellow human engineers, Mike Rodriguez and Jamie Thompson, were already pulling tools from their bags. To the Vraxians, they probably looked absurdly primitive: manual wrenches, hammers, screwdrivers, and other hand tools that hadn't changed much in design for centuries. What the aliens didn't understand was that humanity had perfected these tools rather than replace them. Each item was a marvel of materials science, quantum engineering, and human ingenuity disguised as simple mechanical devices. You can't possibly fix a quantum drive core with whatever those archaic implements are. The Vraxian protested. Nyx smiled, pulling out what appeared to be an ordinary adjustable wrench. Its surface was covered in microscopic servomotors and quantum-locked atomic arrangements that could adjust to any material or force needed. Watch and learn. Commander Vraxin observed the security feed with growing concern. The humans had spread out their tools across the engine room floor in what appeared to be a ritual pattern. Each engineer seemed to know exactly where every item was without looking. "Sir," his security chief reported, "our sensors are having trouble maintaining locks on their tools. The readings keep shifting." "Explain," Vraxin demanded. One moment it's reading as simple metallic alloys, the next it's showing energy signatures that shouldn't be possible from handheld devices. And their toolkit seems to be violating several laws of spatial physics. Vraxin watched as the female human reached into her bag and pulled out a length of what appeared to be adhesive tape. According to his sensors, that simple roll of tape was somehow generating a localized quantum field. "By the eternal stars," he whispered. "What are we dealing with here?" Mike Rodriguez hummed to himself as he worked on the lower junction of the drive core. The Vraxians had really done a number on their containment systems by ignoring basic maintenance principles. Sure, their technology was advanced, but they'd never learned the art of hitting something just right with a calibrated hammer. His current tool of choice looked like a simple ball-peen hammer to the aliens. In reality, it was a precision instrument that could deliver perfectly calculated kinetic force through quantum tunneling effects. Each strike sent diagnostic nanobots into the material, mapping structural weaknesses and adjusting the hammer's next impact accordingly. "Hey Nyx," he called out, "you getting those temporal readings?" Nix held up what appeared to be a simple digital multimeter. The device was actually tapping into 11 different dimensions simultaneously, mapping quantum fluctuations that the Vraxians didn't even know existed. "Yeah," she replied. "Their containment field is oscillating at 0.47 microshifts off baseline." "Jamie, you got that temporal tape ready?" Jamie Thompson was already unrolling a length of what looked like ordinary duct tape. The Vraxians watched in horror as she began applying it to their precious drive core. "You can't be serious!" First Engineer Zixtel protested. "That's a quantum containment field generator. You can't fix it with adhesive strips." Jamie smiled as she continued applying the tape. The seemingly simple adhesive was actually a complex matrix of quantum-locked particles that could stabilize temporal fields across multiple dimensions. Humanity had discovered its properties by accident when a maintenance worker at CERN used regular duct tape to temporarily fix a hydrogen line back in 2047. The discovery had revolutionized quantum engineering. "Trust me," Jamie said, "there's nothing this stuff can't fix." In the command center, alarms began blaring as the ship's sensors detected massive energy fluctuations from the engine room. Commander Vraxian watched in amazement as the quantum stability readings began normalizing. "Impossible," he muttered. "They're actually fixing it." His security chief was frantically analyzing the sensor data. "Sir, those tools they're using, they're not just tools. That hammer is generating more focused energy than our best particle accelerators. That tape is somehow manipulating quantum fields we didn't even know existed. And that wrench, sir, I don't even have words to describe what that wrench is doing to local space-time." Vraxian had served in the Vraxian fleet for over 3 centuries, but he'd never seen anything like this. The humans moved with practiced efficiency, their primitive-looking tools performing feats of engineering that should have required massive machines and complex computers. "Are they aware?" he asked nobody in particular. "Do they know what they're really carrying?" Nix wiped sweat from her brow as she made the final adjustments with her wrench. The quantum drive core hummed with perfect harmony now, its temporal fields aligned and stable. The Vraxian engineers stood in stunned silence, their crystalline forms flickering with confused colors. "That should do it," she announced, starting to pack up her tools. "We reinforced the containment field with some temporal tape, realigned the quantum matrix with standard percussion maintenance, and used a variable quantum spanner to adjust the field harmonics." "Basic stuff, really." "Basic?" Zixtel sputtered. "You just performed quantum engineering that our best scientists barely understand. With hand tools." Mike shrugged as he carefully placed his hammer back in its designated spot in his toolkit. "Like Nick said, basic maintenance. Though you might want to consider implementing a regular percussion maintenance schedule. Sometimes you just need to give these quantum fields a good whack to keep them in line." The humans gathered their tools, each item returning to its precise position in their bags. To the Vraxians, it looked like they were handling holy relics rather than simple repair implements. "One more thing," Jamie added, pulling out a roll of their mysterious tape. "Here's some spare temporal tape. You know, for emergencies." She tossed it to Zixtel, who caught it with trembling appendages. After the humans departed, Commander Vraxian called an emergency meeting of his senior staff. The ship's quantum drive was working better than when it was new, but that wasn't what concerned him. "We need to update our threat assessment of humanity," he announced. "Those weren't maintenance technicians, they were engineers operating on a level we barely comprehend, using technology disguised as primitive tools." His security chief displayed holographic readings from the repair session. "Their tools appear to be quantum mechanical systems of incredible complexity, yet they treat them like simple implements. Every human maintenance worker carries these devices. Every single one." The implications were staggering. Humanity hadn't developed the massive engineering facilities other species used because they didn't need to. They had miniaturized and simplified advanced technology to the point where it looked primitive. "Send word to High Command," Vraxian ordered. "The humans aren't the primitive newcomers we thought they were. They've mastered technologies we never even considered, and they've made them so simple that every maintenance worker carries them in a cloth bag." Back on their shuttle, Nix, Mike, and Jamie secured their toolkits in their designated spots. Each bag was actually a carefully constructed quantum storage system, maintaining perfect organization across multiple dimensional spaces. "Think they figured it out?" Mike asked, patting his toolkit affectionately. Nick smiled. "They observed and recorded everything we did, but they still don't understand. They're looking for complexity when the real innovation was making it simple. Remember that time the Arcturian Assembly demanded to know the secrets of our quantum manipulation devices?" Jamie laughed. Their faces when we showed them it was just a really well-designed hammer. "Humans have always been good at making tools," Nix mused. "We just kept making them better without making them complicated. Why build a massive quantum alignment facility when you can build a better wrench instead?" As their shuttle departed, the three engineers filled out their standard maintenance reports. To them, it had been a routine repair job with basic tools. To the Vraxians, it had been a demonstration of technological mastery so advanced it appeared simple. The report that reached the Galactic Council caused quite a stir. Humanity's classification was quietly updated from emerging technological species to advanced engineering civilization. Special note was made of their ability to miniaturize complex technologies into deceptively simple forms. But perhaps most telling was the addendum about human maintenance workers. "Caution, all human engineering personnel should be considered to be carrying advanced technological devices disguised as basic tools. Their technical capabilities exceed current galactic standards by several orders of magnitude, despite appearances. Additional caution is advised regarding their universal repair substance designated as duct tape. Its properties and capabilities remain poorly understood." In the months that followed, several species attempted to replicate human tools, creating complex quantum devices that required massive power sources and computer systems to operate. None could match the elegant simplicity of a human hammer that could deliver perfectly calibrated quantum tunneling strikes, or a roll of tape that could stabilize temporal fields. The humans, for their part, continued their work as always, carrying their basic tools in simple bags, fixing problems that other species deemed impossible, and occasionally inspiring awe and terror in equal measure among the more technologically advanced civilizations of the galaxy. After all, as any human engineer would tell you, sometimes the most advanced technology is the one that looks the most basic. And when all else fails, there's always duct tape.